Hi guys, Wednesday, 8th of April, just going on 9:30 in the morning on the east coast of Australia where I am, and it's just going on 7:30 in the evening on the east coast of the United States. I'm here on QMAP and nothing more from Q. So we're just going to do what we normally do, have a look at what Donald Trump's had to say, have a look at what else is making the news today. But before we do, I want to tell you that YouTube has taken me down. They've given me a hit. I have no idea why. If you have a look here, you'll see my content violated their community guidelines. Not telling me which one. Our team has reviewed your content and unfortunately we think it violates our community guidelines. We've removed the content from your studio. We know that this might be disappointing, but if the content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal and we'll take another look. Yeah, right, as if they, I have enough trouble dealing with bots on a day-to-day basis. How this affects your channel? Well, my channel now has one strike. You won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for a week. 3 strikes in the same 90-day period will result in your channel being permanently removed. So, the bottom line is, BitChute only, folks. I don't know how I'm going to get that message out to my followers that watch me on YouTube, but nevertheless, eventually they'll get the message, I'm sure, and come and have a look and see if they can find me. We'll start here with the Donald Trump tweets. The WHO really blew it. For some reason, funded largely by the United States, yet very China-centric, we will be giving that a good look. Fortunately, I rejected their advice on keeping our borders open to China early on. Why did they give us such a faulty recommendation? Well, the cynic in me says because they wanted Americans to die. And hopefully this is a message from Donald Trump saying he doesn't really like WHO, and he's going to look closely at whether they continue to have a role to play in the United States. And Gateway Pundit's got the story breaking President Trump. We are looking at defunding the China-centric World Health Organization. About time is all I can say. And then he tweets out, why didn't the IG, who spent 8 years with the Obama administration, did she report on the failed H1N1 swine flu debacle where 17,000 people died? Want to talk to the admirals, generals, vice president and others in charge before doing her report. Another fake dossier. And yes, it was the Inspector General of Health and Human Services that Donald Trump was talking about. You'll find the story here in The Last Refuge for those who want more detail. And then he tweets out that he had a conference call with major lenders discussing our great small businesses and the PPP loan. I ask every company, big and small, making announcements about innovative contributions, hiring new workers or looking to overcome setbacks, to share your stories with America Works Together. He's still telling us 30 days to slow the spread. And then he gives us a snippet from the Ingram report and, of course, the live press briefing with the coronavirus task force. And then he tweets out a couple of snippets from that live briefing. And Gateway Pundit's got the story. Here we go. Wicked Pelosi says she will include federally forced mail-in voting in the next round of coronavirus aid. And seriously, the population needs to revolt against this woman. She's going to wreck America before the coronavirus does, that's for sure. On Tuesday on CNN, Nancy Pelosi said she was going to push for federally forced vote by mail in the 2020 election in the next round of coronavirus aid. And how many people can't see through this plotter? Seriously, Nancy, everyone can see through it. You have got not a hope in hell of winning in November. So anything you can do to cheat, you will do. And a follow-up on the story we saw the other day, Gateway Pundit's now telling us the US sends military ships to the Caribbean Sea to disrupt the drug cartels and cut off socialist Maduro's regime transfers of illegal drugs. According to White House National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, the military mission is to reduce the entry of illegal drugs into the US. The US sent powerful warships, spy planes, and thousands of US troops to the Caribbean Sea this past week. In addition, President Trump seeks to reduce the financial support for drug trafficking that provides the corrupt Maduro socialist regime. Politico's got this story. Trump comments on Modley's resignation and former Captain Crozier. We'll have a quick listen.
The acting Navy Secretary submitted his resignation today, Mobley. Why did that become necessary, and what role did you have in this, sir?
Well, I had no role in it. I've heard, I don't know him, but I've heard he was a very good man. And the whole thing was a very unfortunate. The captain should not have written a letter. He didn't have to be Ernest Hemingway. He made a mistake, but he had a bad day. And I hate seeing bad things happen. Man made a mistake. But, you shouldn't be writing letters, and you're in the military. You're the captain of a great ship, and you shouldn't be writing letters and sending them to many people. And then it gets out to the media. And, the question is, how did it get out to the media? So there's a lot of bad things happened there.
There you go. Daily Caller has this story. Senior Intel officials criticise Adam Schiff's letter to Director Richard Grenell, pressing him over the office of the Director of National Intelligence personnel changes. You can't stay out of it, can you, Schiff? The story reads, House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff sent a letter to Acting Director of National Intelligence Richard Grenell, raising concerns over his recent organisational and personnel changes at the office of the Director of National Intelligence, a move which senior intelligence officials criticised in comments to the Daily Caller. Well, again, I'm going to go back and say Richard Grenell is doing this as a staunch supporter of Donald Trump, and any changes he's making to the Directorate of National Intelligence, in my mind, is justified. And the fact that Adam Schiff's querying them shows me that he's not happy with getting those people that he was using, no doubt, to get inside information are now being dismissed. The Hill has the report. Schiff calls on DNI Grenell to explain intelligence community changes. One major issue Schiff expressed concern over was the President Trump's decision last week to fire Michael Atkinson, the now former Inspector General of the intelligence community. Atkinson alerted Congress to the anonymous whistleblower complaint. And again, it's pretty easy to see through this, isn't it? Atkinson was obviously feeding Adam Schiff, and Adam Schiff's no longer happy that he's not getting the information. That's what it seems to me anyway. And Tom Fitton's commenting on this earlier tweet from back on the 24th of March where it says, Schiff has been fighting Judicial Watch to keep secret abusive subpoenas targeting Trump's lawyers and allies, and Schiff claims sovereign immunity, speech or debate clause, privilege, immunity from FOIA. Records are secret, Judicial Watch and the public doesn't need to see them. And now Tom Fitton's saying Schiff can't be trusted. He abused his office to take and publicise private phone records. He's a leaker. He lied 6 ways to Sunday about Donald Trump and Russia. The president should cut him off from access to classified information. And this has been a general theme for over a year. And again, it makes you wonder, why hasn't President Trump cut him off from this access? Because he is a known leaker. Donald Trump himself tells us that. What does it mean? Has the story Trump warns it's all going to come out as the coronavirus meets stupidest idea in the history of the world. And this story has something to do with the coronavirus and 5G for those who are interested. A lot of links, and I'll leave you the link so you can go and have a look. The Daily Caller is telling us that the coronavirus pandemic is not stopping the border wall construction. Progress on the border wall between the United States and Mexico has continued unabated despite a worldwide pandemic that has halted most other functions of daily life. Customs and Border Protection is moving ahead with construction projects along the border, doling out contracts and allowing companies to put up fencing despite growing calls amongst Democrats to halt the work while the United States deals with the spread of COVID-19. And as most of you probably know by now, George Pell has won his appeal and is now a free man. And of course, this has given a lot of people ammunition. The courts are corrupt, etc., etc. But I never thought that George Pell should have been convicted on the charge that he was convicted on. I'm not saying by any means he isn't a pedophile. I think he is. But the case that they used to convict him was, I think, weak at best. And I see 40 Head has retweeted this tweet from Barack Obama, the king himself, big bad brother from Kenya. And as you can see, Barack Obama. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. I've had a lot of interruptions this morning, so it'll be a little late. But as you know, as I said, this will be only on BitChute, nothing on YouTube, although I might try to get it up on my Strop&Hank site. But I don't know how many people will see it there either. Anyway, have a good one. Stay safe. Keep occupied. Cheers.